Hello again, everyone. We are Gaming by Gaslight, and welcome back to Stellaris as the Pax Mexicana. It's been a couple of years in-game. I mean, it keeps running slower and slower the farther we get, at least it feels that way. But last time we had finished our lovely time conquering the Fallen Empire, releasing a new Fallen Empire, which is not so fallen, the Juskin Royal Worlds, and oh, look at that. They're too strong to vassalize, which is actually a good thing, because apparently in the beta for the Asimov patch, and presumably in the full 1.2 patch, vassals are now going to cost influence. Yay! Which means having a bunch of vassals is no longer really viable. I don't really get it. It feels like every patch they're making influence harder to come by, and it's the scarcest of all the resources, considering how often you end up needing it for various things. But, I suppose it's a reasonable balance, I guess, maybe. I mean, I'm assuming we can all argue that out later, but in the meanwhile, let's invite them to an alliance, because why not? What's this? Yeah, of course I'm going to vote yes, I proposed it. My other friends will vote yes as well, and then we can form an awesome federation of federationness, or something. I should probably make sure I'm in charge of the Federation. Another thing is, I've also colonized some worlds here. This world right here. Like, just look at it. Observe. Look at all the science on this planet. Isn't it amazing? I love it. I'm gonna have to put it in a sector and everything, unfortunately. But, this is gonna be like the best damn science world we ever had. Actually, another thing, while I'm on the topic of complaining about, upcoming patches, I am really frustrated by the fact that apparently in the next patch, they're lowering, or they're removing the +2 core worlds from the Transcendent Republic, or something like that. Every patch, they keep changing these things. It's annoying the heck out of me. I mean, especially considering how annoying sectors are to deal with, as you've no doubt probably gotten tired of hearing me go on about at this point. Why they keep lowering the number of core worlds we can have baffles the heck out of me. Alright, so we've voted to invite them to the Pax Mexicana. Excellent. Excellent. Good. Jolly good. Alright, let's form a federation, shall we? Actually, yeah, the stuff with these things is going to get much more interesting in the future. So again, I don't know if I want to form a federation now, because federations in 1.2 are going to be updated so that you actually have to vote for stuff, and in fact, in the future, you'll be able to vote to kick people out of alliances if they're not pulling their weight, so that's an important thing to know. I'm actually not sure if everyone else voted to form a federation and I said no, would it just not form a federation, or would I get kicked out and they would form a federation anyway? Does it require a majority alliance? Or majority? I think it has to be unanimous rather than a majority. Wow, I apparently have a lot of armies. Now, I assume I don't actually have 200... Oh, wait, no, because I would include the just random garrisons. You know what? Screw it. We'll vote to form yes, because if we're the ones who propose it, we get to be the first leader. Plus, it could be interesting if we're not in control for a while. Alright, that's going to happen. We also have some anomalies to research. In particular, there's actually a really cool thing that popped up here in the Juskin Royal Worlds. This is something that can show up in Fallen Empires. It's a shielded world. Let's see. Entire world is encased in some kind of impenetrable energy barrier. It blocks all scans to the surface. Pretty sweet, huh? We're gonna have to come back and scan that. I mean, plus, since it's not in our empire, that means theoretically... I mean, on the one hand, we could lose out on whatever is here to the Justians. On the other hand, if whatever is there is something that we can take back with us and it's good, then we'll snatch it right out from under them. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I am thinking of researching it. Got a bit of physics. Speaking of science, let's have a look at this. We're now working on sentient combat AI over here because we've researched artificial or sentient intelligence, whatever the dangerous synthetic intelligence, whatever the heck the dangerous artificial intelligence research is, and we're now researching synths, which I think my pops hate synths more than they hate just regular things. I've complained about this before, but I really do hope that they consider changing a little bit about how that works. Because to me, I think it's just a touch bit silly. Also, apparently we have stuff to unlock. Because I had a bunch of unhappy people over here. And so I decided to colonize Sunrise here so that we could hopefully get all the people who hate... Because I have a bunch of these Selami people who are all over here. And for some reason, I have no idea how this came to be. Maybe what happened is the Valon had colonized or terraformed this world. I'm kind of surprised these guys aren't migrating at the same time, but oh well. Anyway, that'll be taken care of. Also, I really shouldn't look at my sector planets. It always makes me a little angry whenever I see that happen, because they're so dumb. Anyway, but in anticipation of this upcoming change to vassals costing influence, and my lack of influence, I am integrating these guys. It's going to take 100 bajillion years, as you can see here. So, actually a little bit more than 10 years at this point. I've been playing for a while off camera just to hopefully take care of some of this stuff. But yeah. So we're working on our science. We're over our core limit, but I don't really care because we're producing a pretty decent number of stuff. I mean, energy credits is probably going to be an issue eventually, but I mean, sectors are, or these Fallen Empire worlds are godly when it comes to the energy they produce. I forget if I looked at this last time. Also, let's take a look. I renamed their homeworld to Unity because I like that better. Let's look at some of this. They're orbiting a gas giant called Skyfaller. These are all Gaia worlds. I forgot whether I mentioned that as well. So it would actually be pretty useful to try to convince some of these guys to leave the planet, if possible. I mean, they're all getting happier, so the odds of that are, I guess, pretty low. Some of them are no longer as... Wait, you're not a xenophobe, but you're happy. Oh, because you were produced after all this. But anyway, yeah, getting these guys off the planet would be good. But look at their things. Like, it is impossible to ever get the kind of tech that these Fallen Empires have. And it produces 15 energy on its own. That would be amazing if these guys weren't unhappy and were able to actually produce stuff. And also, a fortunate thing is that these guys are naturally conformists, so they had a bad trait, I forget what it was, but I took it out, and did I give them communal? I did some genetic engineering on the Justkins, basically, to change things a little bit. Actually, we could just go to their homeworlds and get a look at what's going on. Might as well keep time ticking along while we're doing this. What is their bad trait? Yeah, slow breeders, so I got rid of that. So they're much, much happier people now. Which I like a lot. Anyway, but yeah, we're scanning things. We also unlocked side jump drives, forgot to mention that. Because we're wormhole, a big thing that I forgot is that wormholes don't actually use power, but side jump drives do. So, oh, no one actually wants to form a federation. Oh, why not? I wish I would tell you.
System survey complete.
I mean,
System survey complete.
And why does no one want to form a federation? I'm gonna be so mad if, as soon as that fails, some other dick in the Alliance decides to vote to form a federation, and yeah, I'll just be very mad. Very mad indeed, because I'd be like, oh, you don't want to form a federation if I'm the one who's proposing it, but if you propose it, it's suddenly alright. Jerkbag. Anyway, but yeah, basically I'm planning on building up these worlds and then I'm gonna sector them off. What's this? Federation proposal. It failed. Of course it did. Anyway, I also have some anomalies and research projects. But I'm doing all the research over here first. Excellent. Some more tile blockers. I don't really care about this one. Plus 25% food would actually be really useful. Oh my god, yes, we need this. I like the food, but I like having... I don't like dealing with sectors when I can avoid it, so the more core worlds we can have, the better. Also, I'm turning all of these into, like, basically Unity. Well, Unity specifically, I don't know why I'm orbiting all of these. But Unity in particular is going to be basically our Foundry worlds. All free planets there. I've created super, or at least as super as I think is worth it, spaceports so that they can build super ships, basically. We actually need one more source of Duranthium in order to have Duranthium forges in all of them. Let's see, what do we want? This is useless because we don't use shields, period. This is okay, but I mean, we don't really need it. Proton torpedoes wouldn't be bad. Do we have upgraded proton torpedoes anywhere? What is this? And 50% armor and shield penetration is pretty good, but the range on these things sucks. Plus, they look, based on that image, they look like they're strike craft. And I don't use those. Though apparently those are going to get stronger in... this. Oh my goodness. Why have I not used this before? Construction time, does that include ships? I hope it does. Does it? Let's see. Does it say? Puzzle Fury, potential great optimized modular assembly. I don't know if it does or not. You know what? We'll research it and we'll figure it out, because being able to pump out ships faster would be a really useful thing. And actually, let's go under... oh, yeah, it is under budget. Ship cost... there's nothing that says about, like, ship speed. So I don't really... Wait, it did say speed, not... yeah, construction time. I have to assume that's for everything, I hope. Hopefully it is. Anyway, but I'm going to build up these things, and I'm probably going to pop them off, at least in this system, off into a sector, but I want to make sure that everything is built first. Because as you know, the AI is usually pretty terrible at managing these things. What is this? Okay. Right, I have started building these clinics on everything just because. Now, these guys are rapid breeders, so that's pretty good. Also, happiness is going to be changing pretty notably and significantly once, yeah, as you can see, we're starting to get our strike force over there. Kind of wish it said what planet it was rather than the system, because that would be a lot more useful. We're also capped out on stuff over there, so that's good, I guess. Let's see, we'll build this. Build some science. Feel like someone's behind me for some reason. Let me just look around and make sure that's not the case. That was a weird feeling. That was a weird feeling indeed. I have no idea what that was about. But it was like there was someone behind me, but then there wasn't. I'm probably just going crazy. I mean, that's usually the answer to these sorts of things, isn't it? Where are you going? Why are you leaving? Oh, you're going to science. That's good. Because the more people go to science... Well, actually, I'm probably going to keep science now that I think about it. Of course, yeah. Food's going to be a bit of an issue. Probably. I will upgrade the spaceport, then we'll build solar panels, then we'll build a hydroponics farm. I mean, science is going to be in a bit of trouble for a while because we have this big backlog of science buildings that we're building right now. So, yeah. I mean, I was building all these because I was under the impression I was going to end up tossing this into a sector. But now that I think about it, what I'm probably going to do instead is toss this into a sector once I build it up. And I'll keep science for myself. Because, you know, it's science. And you gotta love science, right? I mean, how could you possibly hate science? But anyway, we're building up some more fleets here, and I trailed off. When it came to the side jump drives, I basically put all of my civilian ships to have them. I'm keeping wormholes with my main military, though I have... We also have our... That doesn't show it off very well. We have Tachyon Lancers, and as you can see here, we have the new Visionary class destroyer, which... There we go. Visionary class destroyer. Uses missiles and... Tachyon Lances. And I forget exactly, but I feel the Fallen Empires... You know, let's keep time going while I'm talking. This is an episode of me mostly just talking. I'm pretty sure it's sort of like this. They have... The Fallen Empires have destroyers and battleships? Or maybe it's or cruisers and battleships. I forget exactly what it is Fallen Empires are doing. But we also have the Godslayer battleship over here. Has no special abilities, but basically... And as you can see, we have to use a fair bit more energy on this, but it has these awesome point defenses. Point defenses are getting nerfed in 1.2 as well, apparently, so I guess having more of them is not a bad thing. Tachyon Lances, bunch of little pew-pews, and actually, I suppose I could just drop it and have nothing but these, but I figure a fleet made up of primarily Godslayers and Visionaries will be our third and or fourth fleet. I figure we'll have 4 fleets in total, and one will be our jump drive fleet, which will be for rapidly jumping between systems. I mean, since they'll be using battleships and destroyers, I assume it won't be that fast. But it'll be a relatively agile fleet, I
System
hope.
survey complete.
Also, as we rebuild our navy, it's gonna get increasingly scary, no doubt, to make sure we're staying positive energy here. Kind of sad no one wants to go to war here. I did give these guys... I was kind of hoping to get these guys to be my friends.
Survey.
Also, weird thing happened here. They formed this federation with a bunch of nations that are nowhere close to them. Like, all the way on the other side of the galaxy that could not help them at all, because they'd have to go through all these other empires just to get to me. Which I think is kind of funny, because I'm going to use that to my advantage to eat them. And considering the fact that vassals are apparently going to take influence now, I might want to just eat these planets for myself. But yeah, some of the alliances in this area of space have changed up for some reason. Actually, a lot of the alliances a little while back kind of switched partners for some reason. I have no idea what happened exactly. I guess the universe was just terrified that I took these guys out. But also, since we have side jump drives, we're researching synths, blah, blah, blah. I still feel I'm somehow not pronouncing the TH part of that correctly. But anyway, also someday we'll finally finish this mission. Probably won't be for another 100 million years, but
Anomaly found.
we're on our way. Ooh, is this another weird thing in there? I mean, there's a part of me that wants to research all these right now, but they still have a moderately high failure risk, so I'm going to wait and come back until we're a level 4, or possibly 5, because I want to have the best odds of passing that. Actually, I could just wait until we finish scanning everything. That could also work. There's also still that one system, yeah, that I haven't surveyed. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you can find in a Fallen Empire's system, which is cool. Oh, goody. Scientist has leveled up. Who's our scientist? Alright, so you're actually almost done. Actually, I might as well get you to do these thingamabobs. Alright, yeah, research that. And also research this one. This is pretty cool, an anomaly right next to the fancy project here. We'll have to research that eventually. You know what, I'll wait for a second on this one. And we'll research this project after that. Okay, good. I'll come back to this. There's also another anomaly somewhere down here. Also, this is ominous, the Sinistra system. Almost like Sinestro, but not quite. Anyway, also, who's our current leader? Yeah. Wait, you're a girl? High Priestess Vickle Nick. Yeah, you're a separatist, but you provide happiness, so I'm actually pretty happy to have them in our fleet. It'd also probably be a good idea to build a bunch of destroyers while she's in charge, but I don't really need that right now, so I'm not going to do it. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm basically just building up my fleets and slowly working on getting us up there. And we are going to take on probably this Fallen Empire eventually. And we're also going to want to take on this Fallen Empire, but of course in order to do that, we'll have to conquer all the way across the whole dang universe, basically. But with all our techs that we've unlocked, and it occurs to me I trailed off with that, we can basically get any endgame crisis now. And in another interesting thing is that in 1. Ooh, all our droids are going to become synths, and we can actually give citizen rights to our synths. Ooh, we can even have robots be leaders. This feels like it would be more useful long-term. But then again, having an immortal robot as our leader. Also, because I feel I haven't complained enough, I really don't like the fact, as I've said before, that spiritualists get a big unhappiness modifier for having synths in their systems, really. It seems kind of silly to me, because materialists can easily get, well, not easily, but they can get, eventually, access to the thingamabob being psychic stuff with no penalties whatsoever. Oh, right, I was looking to see if there'd be if there's any happiness that or unhappiness specifically. All right. So I think if I were to go ahead into policies and give simps their citizen rights, I wish it would tell me right here what the effect would be on my population. Well, I guess first of all, let's go to a planet where I know we have simps, which is one of the... Simps? Whatever they're called. No, apparently it's this one. I know there's one of these planets that had a robot. You're a robot. You're only a droid. But it's going to turn into a simp eventually. Maybe if we're not watching, it'll transform. It's kind of hard to tell. It'd actually be kind of cool. Oh, there we go. It popped up. So they're capable of having happiness now. Alright, so they're... You know what actually occurs to me? Keeping them in servitude, considering how happy they are... Now here's where the weird thing is. Wait. Minus 5% for Xenos allowed? What? Why is that minus 5? Oh, maybe it's because the simp himself can't become leader. I don't know. We'll have to fiddle around with that. Are we going to get a faction showing up? Oh, what's this? An alien mural of some kind. Are we going to get a faction for robot independence? I didn't see if it did or not, but we'll have to take a look. Actually, I noticed on a lot of my factions, I had a bunch more a while ago. They seem to have disappeared. But anyway, what do we got going on here? While conducting surface scans of Mira 2, Science Officer Ilmus? Llama? I'm going to call you Llama for now. Llama, Mikan, and the crew of the JCS Bafkian 2. Bafkian? What the heck? That's not a real name. Who dared... Wait, why is this the Bafkian? Science Ship Venture. Why is it called... Oh. Well, that's kind of dumb. Why can't I rename you? I want to rename the individual fleet or ship dash it all. Hang on a second. A second. Ugh. JCS? What the heck is a JCS? Not Pax Mexican, that's for sure. So you're going to be the Enterprise Mark III. And we've had a couple Enterprises at this point. The fleet is called the Enterprise 2, as I recall. But the ship is the Enterprise 3. We'll also rename this so it actually matches the name of the fleet. There we go. Alright, I'm happy now. Everything makes sense again in the world. Discovered what appears to be an artificially carved slab of rock covered in alien writing. They have not detected any other signs of alien activity on the planet, and exactly how this mural came to be here is a mystery. We have prepared a social project to translate the
Situation log updated.
So I have to stop what I'm doing to figure this out, huh? Lower shield. Love of all this good and holy. You, sir. Research the project. Oh, there's... Oh, wait, I can't actually access it. That's unfortunate. Alright, then we'll lower the shield over here. There we go. Science! Research that. We have elected so-and-so. Okay, what do we got here? This is what we wanted. This is what's gonna make this an extra long episode. We have lowered the energy barrier that surrounded Murfrid... Moopfrid? Hurid? However I want to pronounce that in any given second. What our scientists found was an indistinct habitable world devoid of civilization, with one notable exception. A small isolated hut was found perched on a mesa in the planet's northern hemisphere. Within the hut, we found a withered old Opalglek? What the heck is that? Who demanded to speak with our government. Hang on a tick. We have too many leaders to be able to accept this guy. Pretty sure he's a military leader, but... Alright, let's talk to him. Let's see. You cannot imagine how good it is to finally see some clear skies again, human. I am Grand Admiral Tubarek, former master of the combined Opalglek Armada and victor of 100 battles. I personally oversaw the conquest of Dufbajak, Rikanak, Binark, and Jaskari empires hundreds of centuries ago. As my savior, I pledge my service to you. I should be honored to lead your mighty fleets into battle against your enemies. Why were you trapped behind a shield? Good question. Without my leadership skills, the Opalglek will be just another extinct, forgotten species. Sadly for them, they are. I think. Wait. Aren't the Opal Glek the people over here? The other xenophobic empire? We'll have to check in on that. Let's see. Ascendancy is what my people call themselves now. I crushed the fleets of all who opposed us and put a dozen worlds to the torch, all to preserve the future of my kind. That one people. Oh, yeah. So these guys must be a real people. This was my reward. When peace finally arrived and we sought treaties with those we had defeated, my presence became an embarrassment. I had become a symbol of Opal Glek cruelty, and for my quote-unquote war crimes, I was imprisoned alone on this world. They lacked the courage to execute me, you see. How long have you been down there? When my own kind abandoned me here, they explained that time would pass more slowly on the inside of the energy barrier. For some reason, some 40 of your years have passed, while in the rest of the universe, untold centuries must have come and gone since the barrier went up. It felt like centuries to me as well, when I sat alone brooding in the darkness of my hut. Truly it did. That was really cruel, leaving someone on an entire planet by themselves? That's a dick. Dick move. Leave this creature to its woes. Of course we'd like to welcome him. Alright, so we're gonna have to get rid of someone here. Uh-oh. I can't see. Alright, you're 65. You're also apparently immortal, Mr. Gob. Stupid screen! I want to see what's behind you! Alright, let's see here. Alright. You have only one trait, so I'm gonna get rid of you, sir. I can't... Gah! You know what? Screw it. I guess we'll have to go with this. We would welcome your services. Excellent! Then us to depart this dismal place, I've seen enough of it to last a lifetime. Alright. We probably didn't get anything because of the fact that we are at our cap. No, the game was awesome! It decided to let me go above my cap. And yet, Adama is still in charge. How does that make any sense? Alright, fine. We'll move you here. You can take over one of the other fleets. Anyway, this episode's gone on far too long, so for the time being, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video.